Hi guys, you're watching Level 1 Chords, a part of my 5-minute piano theory series. This is the 4th video in the series, and if you watched all of my Level 1 theory videos, then you're almost to Level 2. This is the last one. Visit 5minutepiano.com to download and print out the worksheets for free and follow along as we go through. Before we can talk about chords, we need to understand intervals. An interval in music describes the distance between two notes. There are close intervals and there are far apart intervals. Let's start with two notes that are a step apart. Counting the lower note is 1 and the next note is 2. We call this an interval of a second. Skip to the next note and we call this a third. Next is a fourth and then a fifth. Also notice when counting up, we always count the note we start on, which is where a lot of people get mixed up when counting intervals. 6th, 7th, and then an 8th has a special name in music, octave. This describes the distance between an A to an A, or a B to a B, or a C to a C, so on. At this time, you can pause the video to complete practice exercise number 1. Let's get to chords. A chord is a set of 3 or more notes that combine harmoniously. Those notes can be played at the same time or separately. Today we'll focus on triads, which is a special type of chord, a 3-note chord where the notes are stacked in thirds. To form a triad on the keyboard, start with a third. In this case, we'll take F to A, stack another third on top of the A, which is a C in this case, and you've got an F triad. Notice that the outer notes form the interval of a fifth. Let's try another one. Start on G, build a third above that, G triad. Remember from our first video, we learned about line notes and space notes. We're going to use this knowledge to identify different intervals on the staff. A C to a D is a second. Notice C is a line note and D is a space note. C to E is a third, and those are both line notes. C to F is a fourth, line note to space note. C to G, a fifth, both line notes. C to A, sixth, line to space. C to B, seventh, line to line. And then our octave, which is C to C, is line to space. At this time, you can pause the video to complete practice exercise number 2. To form a C triad, we'll start with a third, C to E, and then stack a third on top, E to G. The bottom note is known as the root, the middle is the third, and the top note is the fifth, because it's a fifth above C, which is the root. Notice that the triad will always be 3 line notes or 3 space notes, which gives it the appearance of a perfectly stacked snowman. Last video, we learned how to build a C major scale. We use numbers to indicate the steps of a scale. We can build a triad on any note of the C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then we're back to a C triad at the top. So in music, we use Roman numerals to identify triads as opposed to regular numbers which describe the single note of the scale. Let's find these on the keyboard, starting with a C triad on middle C. Build it up. D chord is the 2 chord, E is the 3, the 4, 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 chord, and then we're back to a C triad, so that's the 1. Here's a G major scale like we built in the last video. Pause the video to complete practice exercises 3 and 4 at this time, because momentarily I'm going to be giving away the answer to practice exercise 3. Okay, spoiler alert, here comes the answer to number 3. Notice that because there's an F sharp in the scale, any chord that has a naturally occurring F will now be an F sharp. Let's find these triads on the keyboard. And we start with G. Ground floor G, this is an octave and a half below middle C. There's our 1 chord. Move to A for the 2 chord. The 3 chord has an F sharp instead of an F. The 4 chord is C. 5 chord is D with an F sharp in the middle. The 6 is E. This one we would call an F sharp triad. And then we're back to G. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. I know we just covered a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time. Like and subscribe to see more videos, and thank you so much for your patience as I complete level 2 and beyond. Lots more videos to come, and all in 5 minutes. Thanks for watching.